Hello everybody, today we are going to train what we have already learned. So, we are going to create a calculator, very simple one. It will be able to add, to subtract, to multiply and divide two numbers. Okay, and let's create two variables that will store our numbers, right? So double variable number 1 and variable number 2. And now let's ask for variable number 1, user of our program. So enter first number. Let's ask for the second number also, and let's take it from the input like that. Now we can run it, and as you can see, we can type first and second number. Okay. And let's ask our user of our program what does he want to do now. So, for example, what do you want to do with the numbers? And, for example, you can add them. You can subtract them. You can also multiply them and divide. And let's make end line after each guy here, so it will be easier for us to read. And now, as you can see, it looks like that. 5, for example, 10. And now, what do you want to do with that numbers? And he's asking for one of that character. So we need to store a character somewhere. So let's create character, and let's call it decision. And let's switch that decision. So let's create something like that. And in case our decision is plus, let's send to the output that variable number 1 plus variable number 2 is equal to variable number 1 plus variable number 2. So we are using the arithmetic operator here. And let's make break here. Of course, we need to also add default operation. So if somebody make here's something wrong, so let's say to him, you type wrong character, for example. Let's check if it's working. Of course, we have to add here a column. For example, 10 and 5. And of course, I mean to take the decision, sorry. Now everything will be fine. 10, 5, and he's asking what we want to do with that. I want to add the two numbers, and as you can see, everything is working fine. Cool. So let's do now other cases. Minus, multiplying, dividing, and let's change here all the things and divide. Of course, we can't divide by 0, so when we do something like that, 10, now 0, and I would say I want to divide, as you can see, we can't do it. So we should do something like that here. If number 2 that we are sending here. So if variable number 2 is not equal to 0, then we can easily divide the numbers, but otherwise we will send that you can't divide by 0. So now, as you can see, when we do something like, for example, 10 and 0, and now I want to divide, you can divide by 0. It's wrong, okay? And we can also do something like that. If variable 2, so if value in var2 is not equal to 0, that instruction will be executed. You should notice that I told you that condition is true, always true, if the number here, right, if the number here is anything but 0. It can't be 0 only. So now when somebody type here, for example, var2 10, so if 10 is true, so we can divide that thing. But if variable 2 is, of course, 0, we can't do that. But let's change, for example, something like that. And as you can see, everything is working fine. So let's comment that. It's the same, right? That notation is the same as that one. Okay. Now I will teach you something like that. System clear screen. That thing is going to clear our console output. Let's check it out. Now when I, for example, type here 10, then 5, and I will subtract the things, as you can see, everything got cleared. But of course, everything after the clear screen, so the things here, aren't cleared. They are going to be outputted a bit later. Okay. So maybe we should also do something like that. Hey guy here, do you want to continue that program? Yes or no? We should ask something like that because maybe that guy don't want to run every time that program again, right? And let's create character decision to here, or we can use that guy here also, but let's create another one and let's take him here, saying the decision 2, and if our decision is equal to yes, or it is equal to yes, the capital yes, right? Because somebody can type y in lowercase, or somebody can do it in uppercase, so we have to check both cases. And if yes, we will use something what is called go to, and don't use it. I'm using it only because we don't know something like loops. We will we will discover them in other lessons, so don't worry. I'm just going to show you that thing now because we have to use it. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to do it. So go to beginning, for example. Now when I do something like that, I can create beginning, for example, here. And now when somebody type y or y in uppercase, our program will start again from that place because of that thing, because we are saying go to beginning. Okay, so let's check it out. Sorry, of course, we are having here a character, so we should do the thing like that. Compare. Now let's try it. Enter 10 and 5, and now I will, for example, multiply the things. And do you want to continue that program? And I will say yes, I want to do it. And now, as you can see, we are again asked enter the first number, enter the second number, and other things like that. So 10, 5, and divide now. And no, I don't want to continue that program. And as you can see, execution of the program is stopped when I type no or anything else. We can also clear the screen here, so it will be easier to read. Maybe also we'll add the end line here. Let's check it out. 10, 5, and subtract. Yes, I want to try that thing again. 5, 10, and multiply. And okay, that's all. Okay, so now let's check what is really happening here. What is our compiler doing from the total beginning, everything. It will be good training for us. Let's remind everything. Okay, so compiler is like, hey, I have to include the IOStream library here. And because of that, I'm going to be able to use many things like cout, cin, and some other things that we don't know right now. And let's use the namespace std, so I don't need to every time type something like that. Okay, now I know that I have to run our program from the main function. Here I have to reserve the space in memory for two variables, variable 1, variable 2. And here I know, oh, I have got the label here, so it might be used. It doesn't need to, but it might be used. Here I have to clear screen instantly. Well, there was nothing on screen, so I don't have anything to clear right now, but okay. Now I'm going to send to the output, enter the first number, and add at the end the enter. And I'm going to wait for that number from the input from our user, right? And he's waiting for that. Now our user is doing something, so he's typing something on the keyboard, for example 5. He's asking for another number. Our user is typing it, and now he's sending the output all the things here, and we are waiting for decision of our user. And we are also clearing the screen again, and now we are switching that value of our decision, and in case it is the plus, we are sending to the output variable number 1 is equal to plus variable 2 is equal to variable 1 plus variable 2. And in case it's minus, we are doing that thing. In case it's multiplying, we are doing that thing. In case it is dividing, we have to also check if that variable, if the second variable is not equal to 0, because we can divide by 0. So we are checking that thing here. And if somebody types here something wrong, other characters, we are going to type the wrong character. And here we are again asking, do you want to continue that program? And our user have to decide. And if he decides to continue, our program is going to again run from that place. And please, again, don't use that thing. I know that you are like now, wow, it's so cool, go to wow. Please don't use it, because when your programs will be longer, for example, 500 lines, and you will use more than 5 of that guys, it's almost impossible to read code like that. There are other better ways do that things, but we are just right now training. We don't know everything about the C++ language. Don't worry, we'll know better things. So that's all in this lesson. Thank you very much.